Welcome to Great Companies, Great Leaders. So excited to be with you today. We have a phenomenal guest, Jared Banks. He's the Senior Account Manager with the amazing organization Valence that we're going to learn a little bit more about this morning. Jared, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Jared, a little bit about Jared. We love to start our podcast with a bio and share a little bit about our guests. So Jared is a San Francisco Bay Area native and technology enthusiast. He has spent the past 10 years driving the adoption of new technologies at various stage tech startups, including a New Zealand-based accounting software company. One day I'm going to get there, and is currently supporting DE&I efforts at Valence. Since his days as an undergrad at UC Berkeley, Jared has followed the socio-economic dynamics strategies effective for positive change and done his part to support social justice and creating opportunities in our world. After several years working in procurement and sales for the Oakland Athletics, he then transitioned to the financial industry. While working in SMB partnerships, he attended graduate school at CSU East Bay and acquired his MBA in strategic management. A consistent theme of his customer-centric approach is proactively understanding the user experience and really helping partners get the most out of their software program while optimizing their tech stack. Additionally, Jared has consistently brought his authentic self to each stop, helping to bridge gaps in cultural understanding, all while raising a family. And for those of you with a family, you know how challenging that can be. Challenging and fun. In his spare time, Jared enjoys staying active outdoors with his wife, his two sons, his daughter, and helping members of the community explore pathways to success in the tech industry. Again, welcome. Really glad to have you here. We've had some great conversations about Valence, and I'd love for us to start our interview there in terms of what is Valence and the mission?
Absolutely. Would love to start there as well. As you can hear my background, it kind of points to this as a landing spot. It's really a dream job and a dream company to be with. Valence is a relatively new tech platform founded in 2019 on MLK Day. And our mission is to connect and empower the global Black professional community and illuminate new pathways to success. And we do so through a few different avenues. One, we support our community members through mentorship. We were founded by one of the few Black VCs in the country, so there's access to capital. Folks come to us to network with other like-minded Black professionals. There's dynamic events, engaging the community, getting together, and pushing the conversation forward. And then we also have our Valence Bonds, an executive development community where it takes people to the next stage in their careers. So Valence really spoke to me as someone with tech background, someone who's socially conscious and always wanting to figure out a way to support people in their next stage of their careers. So to be with Valence now is a marrying of interests, and I'm really enjoying the daily work that we're doing here to change the dynamics within tech and other industries. Folks who are looking to expand their Black talent at their own companies.
And I was so inspired by that. Again, you and I have talked a few times, so inspired by the platform and what it offers and the robust nature of what it offers. I know there are other organizations that potentially offer one or two of those things, but not the entire package that Valence has. So let's take a step sideways. How did you get here? A little bit about your journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So how to get here? Again, with our holistic approach to DE&I, we focus in on recruit, retain, and promote. So every step of my journey has led to this. So my first job out of college, I was a sociology major at Berkeley. So I was always talking about what was going on in the world. My first job out of college was with the Oakland A's, actually getting autographs for the team in the community relations department to raise money for our efforts out in the community. And then spun that into a position in the procurement department where I was ordering hats and giveaways and
Wow.
bobbleheads and all that fun stuff. If you ever went to the cap stand, I designed a bunch of those hats, and we led a team down to spring training and broke the record for sales a few times and came back. And I was really enjoying myself, but I felt like there was more I needed to do with my life. So I went back to grad school, worked at Wells Fargo during the day on a sales quota, classes at night. And yeah, it was challenging and led me to a place where I wanted to help people achieve their goals within technology rather than just focusing in the financial sector. So upon graduation, that's when I transitioned into to tech and really found my path, which was helping people understand their business needs and apply technologies to maximize their efforts and ROI on all of the software and their tech stack that they're implementing.
Okay, you have an amazing journey, but the one thing that we never focused on before was the Oakland A's. Okay, spring training, that's my thing. Do you still go to games? Is that still?
I have not been down to, well, actually, I took a trip to Arizona last spring. My son's a AAU basketball player at 10U and hit his first three-pointer in a competitive game.
Nice.
Yes, I have not been down to spring training in a little while, but I did take them to all my favorite spots. Papados. We had a little.
Oh, Papados. Wow. Okay. For those of you not in Arizona, when you get here, Papados is the place.
Absolutely. But it was just an amazing experience to come down there 2 months a year and just really take a project from beginning to end, from
absolutely
buying all of the supplies. The first year we put everything in a U-Haul truck and drove a U-Haul truck and towing a van down there. The next year,
that's crazy.
Yes. The next year I said, I think we can ship this stuff. We'll just meet the hats down there.
Good idea. Good idea. Okay, that required leadership. All of this that we're talking about required leadership, although I'd love to talk about baseball for the next 15 minutes. I know our audience probably wouldn't appreciate that. So leadership, what is something a leader can do for themselves right now? Something that you would recommend they do for themselves and their team. And I'm thinking about the workplace that we're in right now. It's evolving, right? It's really not a new normal. We're just evolving to something new. So what do you think are some things a leader can do for their team and themselves right now?
So probably the best thing a leader can do, and something that they do here at Valence, is just focus in on hiring great people who fit the core values of the organization and people that you can trust to do an excellent job. And with that, collaborate within the team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The core value piece is so key. And I think sometimes the job seeker isn't always looking at what are the core values of the company and do they align with mine? So I love that you said that you're looking at that.
Oh, absolutely. That's how I found Valence. Right before the pandemic hit, the last company I interviewed with was sales recording software. And it was shortly after George Floyd, and I really wanted to focus in on something that had a social impact. And not too long after that, I connected with Valence, and we found that there was a mutual interest in pushing things forward. So I found my purpose professionally, because with Valence, we offer an executive development community called Valence Bonds. And what we do there is we encourage people to find and pursue their purpose and passion through their own professional and personal journey. And that's what I did. I was able to find an interest. I mean, when people ring my doorbell to sell me something door to door, I say, if you can do this, you can sell software. So I had been evangelizing a career in software for years, and now I can do that for a living.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's a great reminder for how people pivot and how they use all their experiences to arrive at a career that really fits them, right? Really fits them best. So I want to look at leadership from two different perspectives. If you're currently a leader, which you are, and we have other people listening that are, what's something they can do to become a better leader in today's environment? What's something they can do? Let's start there first.
Absolutely. I would say curiosity is the number one character trait that will push forward outstanding leadership. Curiosity, a wanting to learn and grow. I'm not a huge reader because I have toddlers and kids piling on me, but I've got earbuds and we do a lot of ebooks. So whether it's self-help, mindfulness, there's a few different ways to push yourself forward, and whether it's your environment, yourself, internally, professionally, personally, all of those things lead into the river that is your career.
We live in like the best time right now. When I think about all the things that are available to us to grow professionally, and the access to podcasts, the access to audiobooks, the access to so much that we can do without even leaving our homes, there really isn't a reason in terms of becoming a better leader and using those resources. And I love what you said about curiosity, because I think curiosity is often the ingredient that leads to growth, right? Leaders are looking and they're curious about something new in the environment or something new in the industry, and that leads them to a podcast or something else that leads them to becoming a better leader. So what advice, let's flip to the other side. So entry level, maybe a college student just coming out of college this past semester, or someone that's just been in the work environment but not in a leadership position. What advice would you give to them for going into leadership for the very first time? Well,
first and foremost, having a mentor is absolutely crucial. My mentors, our CEO, Guy Primus, and our head of partnerships, Victoria Tinsley, as well as our co-founder and COO, Emily Slade, have been just phenomenal in terms of my career. 2 stops ago, I asked an executive, what can I do to get to a position like you're sitting in at this moment? And he said, it's all forecasting. Well, now let's look at your book. And I said, all right.
Book meaning your book of sales?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So it was something that made me think that I need to find someone who understands the challenges that I'm experiencing, and then also understands me as a person and can help me kind of find the path that I'm looking for. So that's what I love about Valence. And then not only is it an individual partnership in terms of finding mentors, we offer mentorship within the platform. It's built right into the platform. There's 7,000 mentorship opportunities being offered in the system today, beyond just the normal interactions within the community. And then we also have the Bonds community, which is really focused on leading self, leading others, and leading the industry through community, curriculum, and content. Community, curriculum, and content. Through community and curriculum content, those folks can find a mentorship through our beacons. We've got amazing beacons who are within the platform. People like Peggy Alford, first Black woman on Facebook, Sport, now Meta. Aisha Bowe, former NASA scientist turned entrepreneur. And we've also got people who can go through the program within the cohorts and find their own personal board. We have affinity groups, whether it's around generational wealth, real estate. We've got people who are looking to go through general overall leadership training, and career coaching is built right into the program as well.
So if we come back to mentoring for a minute, I think that is so key. So as a new leader, I don't even know that you can be successful without a mentor. I think it's really hard. I do think leaders are born, but I do think leaders are trainable as well. People who have maybe not have that innate sense of leadership and want to be a leader. And so the mentorship piece is so key. And finding mentors often is difficult if you don't have a broad network. So I love what Valence is offering in terms of the platform, where I could go on there and find a mentor that could help me where I'm at, right? And find a mentor that aligns with what I'm trying to learn or do, because there's also different aspects of mentoring in terms of maybe it is I need to understand financial reports, or maybe I need to understand the political landscape of my organization and become more savvy. So there are different mentors for different things. So I love what you said about that. And I would add sponsorship. Having a sponsor in the organization, someone who's talking about you when you're not in the room in a positive way and giving you visibility and basically your cheerleader. I think that's also important. So mentorship and sponsorship, so key. I really agree with you. So when you think about the path that you've taken and all the different pivots that you've made in your career, who's had an impact on you as a leader and why?
Well, there's been so many people who have impacted my career, but really the most impactful people have been Guy and Victoria. Guy is just an incredibly impressive person. He's been an executive with Overbrook, Will Smith's organization. He's been an executive at Bad Boy with Puff or Diddy. Whatever we're going by these days,
right?
But he is incredibly focused. I'm kind of a goofy guy. He's very serious, and he sees greatness in people, even greatness that I may not see in myself, and he pulls that out. And I really appreciate that. And then Victoria, our head of partnerships, is just so incredibly intelligent and polished and professional. And all of that just rubs off on you. You get it through osmosis. And we go through core clarities, right? So I'm in the bonds program myself because I would like to take the next step in my career. And what we do is we go through and we find our strengths. And my strengths are individuality, context, positivity, and I'm a bit of a developer. So knowing that, I know what my weaknesses are and what I need to shore up. And so with that, I can find those folks who have the qualities that I aspire to gain, and I can lean on them and see how I can pull in some of those traits and add them to my own professional package and really focus on who I want to be in this professional world.
I love how you explained your mentors in terms of what they bring to you and the impact that they've had, not only in your career, but I'm sure personally, as you step back and think about maybe the different things they point out to you, to your point, that is a blind spot for you, and the greatness and the uniqueness that you bring to the work environment, but probably also in your personal life.
Absolutely.
So we're in an evolving space. We've talked about this. Our workplace and workspace, they're changing and evolving, and diversity of thought leadership is king right now. So in your organization, where do the great ideas and innovation come from?
Well, so we're a small but mighty team. So the ideas come from everyone. Really how it starts, though, is our leader, Guy. He starts out and kind of gives us what his thoughts are in terms of mission, vision, staying on brand of what we're trying to accomplish in this world. Similar to, when we approach an MLK Day, that is a working holiday for us. We are trying to do something to move the community forward. And that started with Guys like, I'll be online tomorrow, enjoy your day, but I'll be there. So we join him, leading by example. And then as he, sets the tone on where his mind is at, we then insert our diversity of ideas and just build upon that. We've got just a fantastic account management team. Monica and Christina, they all contribute. Monica just pulled together just an incredible presentation deck and showed it to the team. And from there, we just started to build on it. I just threw in a couple ideas on how we could present it into a bit of a story. Someone else jumped in on how to pull the data and tell the story with that data. Someone else decided how we could turn it into a bit of a visual presentation. And it's a whole lot of collaboration. And where that focuses on, we are an organization that at the moment focused on the professional journeys of Black professionals, but we absolutely plan on expanding to all underrepresented minorities and then all people. But our team is diverse. So what we found is diversity drives innovation. And so we live that. We have a very diverse team, and all of these opinions come in and share and create a little bit of magic.
So many nuggets that you shared in terms of what it takes to be a leader in this space today. Collaboration is king. Diversity is king. Not only diversity in our ethnicity, but our thoughts and our ideas and our background and where we've come from and the experiences that we've had in our professional life. Just so much for our audience. I really appreciate that, Jared. Thank you for being a phenomenal guest. People can find Valence at what website? Where can they find it?
Absolutely. Valence.community, no .com or anything, just valence.community, VALENCE. And you can learn more. Please, check us out and come connect with me. We're always there. We'd love to have conversations about moving organizations forward and increasing diversity, equity, and inclusion through a holistic DE&I approach of retention, recruit, retain, and promote. And we are so excited about the bonds program that recently launched. And if you have anyone who you want to invest back into their professional development, we can definitely support that.
Awesome. Jared, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Brightworks Consulting hosts this podcast and YouTube channel to spotlight the leadership around the world that is changing lives. Brightworks offers a myriad of consulting services in the public and private sector, to include diversity, equity, and inclusion solutions for any size company. You can find us at www.brightworksconsulting.com. We're honored to have Best Companies AZ as a presenting sponsor for this podcast. Best Companies AZ is your #1 source for regional employer branding. You can find them at www.bestcompaniesaz.com.